right, so we got who was each Primarch's favorite Space Marine. Shout out to everybody for the support. I really appreciate it, man. Thank y'all so much for subscribing. On the road to 10,000 subscribers. But before we get into it, just let you guys know I won't be recording videos tomorrow, but there will be videos up tomorrow because I'm going to be recording videos later today, and then I'm going to set them for tomorrow because I don't do videos on Sunday because that's like my rest day. But other than that, man, thank y'all so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Other than that, this is a very, 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 very long intro. Let's go.
G'day, guys and gals.
So, Majorkill!
A statement uttered by both damaged blonde girls with grazed knees, as well as demigod super soldiers from Warhammer 40k.
Who is Daddy?
Whilst we all know the Primarchs had severe daddy issues, how did this manifest in how they treated their legions? Or put more simply, which of their sons was their favourite? Now you could say, Hadur, the first captain was the favourite, or the equerry was the favourite, but this wasn't always the case. Some Primarchs came to loathe their first captains and ended up loving the most random, seemingly unimportant legionnaires.
Now, real quick, y'all, I don't know if y'all know or not, but whenever he gets to Vulcan, just know that like Majorkill, he's not gonna say my name, but just know like Vulcan's real son, like his favorite real son, I don't know if y'all know or not, but it's me. I don't know if you guys know, but you know, just to fill you guys in, whatever name Majorkill says, he was a bum. He's washed. Like, Vulcan, he just said that to him just because he wanted to make his, he was a crybaby, y'all. Like, you ever said something to somebody just to like, make them feel nice, but in reality, you didn't really feel that way? That's what Vulcan did, to this bum that Majorkill's gonna say. So just know that Vulcan's favorite, real life son, whatever, is Moa. So
I thought, why not make a video checking out who exactly was the Primarch's favorite space marine
yeah.
for each legion? Before we get started, as most of the were autistic and had a hard time connecting with anyone or handling complicated social and political situations, such as how he handled the banishment of Luther and the other Dark Angels to Caliban, which caused a ton of issues, or giving Perturabo massive siege weapons that ended up being used on the Loyalists. With that said though, there is really only one space marine that could be considered the Lion's favourite, and that was Corswain. The Lion even had a nickname for him, Cor. Now Corswain wasn't the Lion's equerry or first captain. He was the Captain Paladin of the Ninth Order, but the Lion always kept him close, even picking him as one of his 2 honor guard when he spoke with Conrad Kurz during the Thramis Crusade. A conversation that went poorly and ended up with Corswain stabbing Kurz in the spine and saving the Lion's life. Corswain would have
Alright, y'all, we back.
Of the Legion, being given command of half the Legion and more or less becoming the Lion's second, last being seen fighting by the Lion's side against the traitors on Caliban. Needless to say, a clear favourite. The issue with choosing Fulgrim's favourite is that he's such a self-absorbed prick that he literally doesn't give a shit about anyone else. Eidolon was his second in command and he cut his head off and stitched it back on for a laugh. He found Lucius
For a laugh? For a laugh, yo? But like, here's the thing, why am I acting all surprised? Like I didn't like I wasn't expecting this from this freaky, eeky, just menace to society. I expected that from this nuisance. Sorry for my burp, excuse me. Yo, I expected that from this nuisance. It is so crazy because the weirdest Primarch gotta have the best drip. I'm sick of this, yo. Like, I'm gonna keep it real for what it is, bro. I can sit up here and be a hater all I want, but I can't hate, bro. Like, I can't hate on the drip, bro. I don't know what it is. Maybe, like, whenever I turn, like, 40 or 50, I want to, like, design my own favorite clothes. I could just imagine myself doing that. But, like, bro, this is hard. Like, even though we know this, the guy that's wearing this drip, he's a psychopathic weirdo. Like he's a wacky weirdo. He's a diabolical deviant. He's just a nasty nuisance. Like, he's everything and above. But boy, his drip is fire. That's something that I cannot deny, y'all. And it hurts me. It pains me. It makes me sick to my stomach. But this drip is fire. Look at this, bro. He got the chain on. He got the eagle wings on. Look at he got the king. It makes me mad, bro. I wish I had this drip on. Like,
Eidolon was his second in command and he cut his head off and stitched it back on for a laugh. He found Lucius entertaining but never showed him any love. Julius Caesaron, his first captain, was called the favoured son, so could be a contender, but once again there was never really any warmth there, especially during the heresy. No, I would say that he liked Fabius Bile the most, since Fabius could make him the most spicy drugs and could do the most for him personally, such as cloning a bunch of Ferrises for him to fuck around with and so on. So I would say it purely comes down
for him to really mess around with him. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. See, I don't know if y'all know or not, but y'all, Fulgrim, if you're new to the whole Warhammer thing, this guy right here, bro, is an absolute diabolical freak. He is down bad, y'all. I'm talking about, bro, Yo, and guess what? He goes both ways. So guess what? Yo, Tisha, yo, what's her name? Tanisha and Tracy can get it. And guess what? Tyrone and Trayvon can get it. Yeah, he likes both. He goes both ways. Swing both ways. Yes, back and forth. It doesn't matter what it is. He likes it. Bro, he's a freak, bro. So guess what? Whenever this weirdo right here, because he's a weirdo too. Whenever this weirdo right here, bro, like makes other Primarchs and stuff like that, yo, don't be, if you ever see this Fulgrim character messing around with his own brother's clones or whatever, yo, don't be surprised. Just know that's who he is. That's his character. Nasty work.
To which Space Marine could give him most value, and that was easily Fabius. Perturabo is a raging asshole that never showed any of his legion any real love. Like, he literally replaced his honor guard with a bunch of battle robots mind-linked to himself, and he barely listened to his trident, which was more or less his 3 closest advisor Iron Warriors. However, he did occasionally sprinkle some wisdom and favor here and there. The most respect he had for any of his legionnaires was the respect he gave to First Captain Forex. Perturabo believed that out of all the Iron Warriors, Forex was closest to him in way of thought and doctrine, with Perty often giving Forex a lot of responsibility and command in important battles. However, as I said, Perturabo is a dick that doesn't care for his sons, and he ended up allowing Forex to be sent on a suicidal mission which Forex barely survived. Post-heresy, Forex completely fell from grace, being demoted a number of times due to a lack of conviction. He hated being a traitor and a heretic, but saw that there was no other option or path to take. Forex was eventually killed in battle, unremarked and unremembered. On the flip side, Jagadai loved his legion dearly, especially those who were a part of his original warriors from Chagoras, such as Yasugai, Jubal, and Quinzar. However, one by one his favourite sons were killed. Out of all of them, his favourite was his chief Stormseer Yasugai, who acted as his spiritual guide and mentor, and who always seemed to know what to say and what to do. The Khan listened to Yasugai closely, and although he wasn't a Psyker himself, he respected his Stormseers a lot and ended up co-sponsoring the Librarius, the sanctioning of Space Marine Psykers, alongside Sanguinius and Magnus. When Yasugai gave up his life to save his legion, he sent one last psychic message to Jagadai as a final goodbye, with Jagadai missing him most out of all the losses within his legion. Leman Russ also loved most of his legion, taking it extra hard when most of them died, but the standout favourite to him was Bjorn the Fell-Handed. Bjorn wasn't a Jarl or a captain, he was just a fucking dope warrior. He was no nonsense, brave and skilled. Russ liked having him around, almost like a lucky charm, despite Bjorn's overall low rank. Even when Bjorn killed a demon king that Russ had set his sights on, Russ was filled with pride and lauded Bjorn instead of being mad he took his kill. The two warriors would get closer until Bjorn was nearly always by Russ's side, even as the heresy took place, becoming his closest Wolfguard. Post-heresy, Bjorn would be shattered when Russ left to enter the Eye of Terror, taking all the Wolfguard with him except Bjorn. Bjorn felt like he had dishonored Russ in some way, but in reality, Russ only trusted Bjorn to lead the Space Wolves in his absence, and he also didn't want to risk the life of his closest friend.
Wow. Wait a minute. So we actually have trust in Warhammer. Wow. Yo, slap me in the face and call me Donald. Wait, we actually have trust in Warhammer. Since when? Yo, all I hear is depression, war, anarchy. That's all I hear. Bro, a little bit of racism. That's all I hear from Warhammer. We actually got a little bit of trust. Man, what a time to be alive. Wow. This is shocking, y'all. Wow. Well, this actually makes me smile, yo. This is great. Wow.
Rogal Dorn wasn't exactly the most emotional or cuddly of the
Okay.
Primarchs. However, his
Nice.
favourite Space Marine for a long time was his first Captain Sigismund, respecting his son's skill and dedication. However, when Sigismund started getting caught up in the whole Emperor is a God belief, Dorn raged at him and they had a massive falling out. Although Dorn would eventually come to understand Sigismund's perspective and relent, their relationship never really recovered. However, there was no other Space Marine that could replace Siggy as Dorn's favourite. Like, goddamn, when they fought back to back against the Emperor's children Elite during the Siege of Terror, that was a thing to behold. Dorn was so focused on the siege that he didn't really have time to form strong bonds with his other sons when compared to his history with Sigismund. Not many Primarchs despised their legion as much as Conrad did. He literally blew up his own homeworld after all, so his legion couldn't recruit anymore.
He's a weirdo and y'all like him. That really like puts me in a blender, because that really questions like my audience's like intentions on things. Like, what do y'all mean y'all like this dude? Y'all really like oh man, yo, this makes me chuckle a little bit. Y'all really like this dude for what? You heard what Majorkill just said, bro. He be blowing up his own legion, and y'all like, oh my god, Conrad Kurz. That's how y'all look, by the way. Oh, Conrad Kurz. What? Y'all mess with bro? Bro, he's a diabolical nuisance. Y'all mess with him? Bro, everywhere he moves, he deserves to have 10 pins on him at all times. He's on the FBI most wanted list. He's #1. He should be jailed for life.
However, the one Night Lord he had anything resembling respect for was Sevatar, his first captain, and even then he still made Sevatar paint his gauntlets red to mark him out as some sort of criminal. Sevatar had a unique way of viewing the world that Conrad liked, with Sev also being the only Night Lord to not take Conrad's bullshit, something Conrad didn't like but respected. He never said, "Thank you Sev, I love you Sev." However, after the heresy, Conrad asked where Sevatar was and that he wanted to speak to his first captain. When he was informed that Sevatar was gone and likely dead, Conrad got really upset and confused, which is the closest thing that monster can show to love. No Primarch loved his legion more than Sanguinius, not even close. Dude nearly gave himself to chaos in a misguided attempt to save his legion's soul. So he held a ton of love for his son.
That's true.
Two stood out above the rest as his potential favorites.
That's true.
Raldoron and Azkaellon. Raldoron being his first captain and Azkaellon being the leader of his honor guard, the Sanguinary Guard. Both he loved and respected for their loyalty, skill and personalities. He called Raldoron Ral in an affectionate nickname sort of way, whilst he was devastated when Conrad heavily wounded Azkaellon and nearly killed him. It is hard to choose which one he saw as his true favourite, but I would say Azkaellon. Perhaps he respected Raldoron more, as evident by him having him second in command, but he probably liked Azkaellon more, spending more time with him and even often allowing Azkaellon to have a final say when it came to his security. Definitely a close one though. For Ferris, despite us not getting a ton of lore for him due to his untimely decapitation at the start of the heresy, had a clearly favourite son who died alongside him, that being his first captain, Gabriel Santor. Santor was the yin to Ferris's yang, or maybe the other way round. He balanced them out, kept his temper even, and was his voice of reason. They had a close, trusting relationship, one of the closest a Primarch could have with his Space Marine, which may sound surprising for an Iron Hand, but definitely was the case. I was almost just as sad as Gabriel's death than I was at Ferris's. Angron didn't give a shit about the World Eaters, seeing them as a weapon he could use in his desire for war. When he was first found and taken by the Emperor,
he don't count. Anything he do, he don't count, y'all. He was a crash out. He had those nails in his head. I told y'all this 1,000 times. He don't count. I don't care what y'all say. Oh, well, no, but Angron had that. Bro, hey, you try to do something, but you have nails in your head that make your brain shrink, okay? Y'all keep trying to, like, it's so crazy because y'all would try to defend Conrad Curtis, but won't defend Angron. What are we, like, huh? Like, what are we talking about? So, I'm going to be honest with you. Anything that Angron does, he is excused. For real, honestly. That's my take on it. Anything that he does, he's excused. No lie.
He ended up killing the majority of the World Eaters' command structure in a fit of rage. Only Khan had the balls and fortitude to earn Angron's respect to be spared. From then on, Khan would be Angron's favourite, despite being captain of the 8th Assault Company, not exactly a prestigious role in the grand scheme of things. However, soon he would be chosen as Angron's equerry and would represent him in a lot of cases, often being considered as one of the most level-headed World Eaters. Oh, the irony. The two would form a bond that was as close as Angron could get to.
Wait, real quick, I actually like their colors. Wait a minute. Wow, this is something that I will wear. Let me see. White vest with the white pants with the gold. Hold up. Yo, who's his stylist, yo? Hey, I need his stylist ASAP. This is hard.
His sons. However, things went to shit when Angron became a demon as he shed all personal connections, even attempting to kill Khan at one point. But yeah, there can be no doubt that Khan was Angron's favourite overall. Guilliman's favourite may surprise you. It wasn't his first captain or his equerry or any of his command staff. It was a random sergeant undergoing censure called Adonai Thiel. Thiel began creating practicals and theoreticals for Astarte v Astarte combat prior to the heresy.
That's hard. This is actually hard. Wait a minute. They got the red, but they have like the red splattered on like some of the. That's hard. This is hard, yo. This is fire. Hey, yeah, this is hard, bro. See, I'll be so cool and cordial with who I am, y'all. I'll have that much aura and just Rias, bro. I would like walk into the club and like this thing right here for me will be blue, but like, bro, I would get so much love and attention from women. You know, just having this on that they would like have like the little red like Taylor Swift like lipstick, and they'll all just be like kiss me and stuff like that to the point to where it'll all just be red. Like, bro, it'll be crazy. Like
something that was considered so unspeakable that he was punished for it. While awaiting punishment, the word bearers attacked the Ultramarines and he was vindicated.
I got soda in my eye. Okay, I think I'm good. No. Oh my goodness. Yo, I had soda in my eye, yo. Yo, damn you, Dr. Pepper. Damn you, Dr. Coke. What's it called? Diet Coke. Ugh. All right, I think I'm good. Oh my goodness.
Fought alongside his Primarch with great skill, Guilliman admiring the sergeant's out-of-box, unconventional thinking.
Yo, like a little bit just popped into my eye.
The Ultramarines less rigid and predictable. They even wrote the Codex Astartes together. Guilliman liked Thiel so much that when the Alpha Legion posed as Thiel and his warriors to meet with Guilliman, Guilliman allowed them to bypass a lot of security checks and enter straight into his room, a mistake that nearly cost Guilliman his life. Thiel would go on to be promoted to captain of the second company, with Guilliman ending up liking Cato Sikaris in the current setting due to Cato reminding him of Thiel. Mortarion has had a few favourites over the years. He deeply respected and liked Battle Captain Nathaniel Garro, as evident by honouring him after a Great Crusade battle, as well as the fact that despite Garro—
Yo, how is his face not messed up? Yo, if I was his #1 guy, bro, my face would be done for, bro. If I was his #1 guy, bro, like, I'll have pimples all over my face. If I was his #1 guy, bro, I'll stink crazy. If I was his #1 guy, bro, like, no lie, I would smell like 1,000 skunks just had a battle royale. Bro, if I was his #1 guy, bro, it would be over for me, bro. Every girl was screaming terror. Like, every girl will legit stay away from me like it's COVID-19. Like, no lie, bro. Like, it's 2020. For real, like, genuinely, bro. Like, it's crazy work.
Being marked as a loyalist, Mortarion refused to send him to Isfahan to die in the hopes that he could still convert him to the traitor's cause, a mistake that cost the traitors dearly. However, Morty would go on to kill Garro during the Siege of Terror, so probably not a great favourite overall. Then there is Typhus, Morty's first captain, who he cared for dearly. However, Typhus would betray Morty, lead him into the warp, and get him cum blasted by Nurglite warp aids. Morty actually tried to kill him during those events. However, eventually Morty was forced to become a demon prince and turn his legion into a bunch of plague marines, something Morty was extremely angry at Typhus for doing. So by the time the siege rolled past, Morty didn't seem to have a favourite, just kind of hated everything and everyone. Magnus deeply cared for his sons before the fall of Prospero. He sacrificed his eye to try stop the flesh change, and he felt a lot of guilt for how his actions had affected his legion. Originally, his favourite son was Ammon, who was also his equerry and kind of acted like a father figure to Magnus. However, he eventually ended up liking Ahriman the most due to the sorcerer's talents, will and personality, Ahriman being more or less his first captain. It was Ahriman he entrusted the Book of Magnus to, which was Magnus's most prized possession. However, when Ahriman went against Magnus's orders and cast the rubric to try stop the flesh change, Magnus raged and tried to kill Ahriman, only stopping because Tzeentch willed it so. So Magnus went back to liking Ammon, but then Ahriman killed Ammon, so yeah, it's a bit of a fuck around. In his demon form, Magnus is a lot more detached than before and doesn't seem to care too much about individuals in his legion, but overall I would say his favourite is Ammon, since he literally tried to kill Ahriman. Horus's favourite might surprise you. I know you're probably thinking it's Abaddon. After all, Abi was his first captain, but his true favourite son, who he tragically barely spent any time with the law with, was Sejanus, a member of his Mournival who was tragically killed in a diplomatic ambush during the Great Crusade. Sejanus was loved by everyone, level-headed, noble and honourable. When Erebus was corrupting Horus during Horus's coma, he took the form of Sejanus as he knew that was the War Master's favourite. A close second to Sejanus was—
Damn, he black as hell. Hey, Sejanus, I didn't know you was a brother. Hold up. Yo, did a bomb blow up right next to him? Like, what happened to us? Yo, he just like us. What's up, bro? Hey, one thing I'm gonna say, yo, that armor is tough. The gold and white with the red, ooh, that's a nasty combo.
Replacement, Garviel Loken, who embodied a lot of the same ideals. It was actually the presence of Garviel which got Horus to realize his mistake and allowed the Emperor to kill him. But yes, Sejanus was always Horus's favourite. Lorgar's favourite was by far none other than Argul Tal. You may think it was Erebus or Corferon, but he ended up—
Yo, bro, he looks just like Sylvester Stallone, bro. He looks just like Rocky. That's so crazy.
Up despising both of those mentors
so crazy.
and tried to get them killed on multiple occasions. Argul Tal was the captain of the 7th Assault Company. Once again, not a massively prestigious role in the Legion, and was seen by Lorgar as the ultimate harmony of chaos and mortality. The role model he wished the galaxy to follow. When Erebus stabbed Argul in the back and killed him, Lorgar told Khorne about it, knowing Khorne would fuck up Erebus. So that was Lorgar's way of—
Come on, yo, where's the goat? Come on.
Son. Vulcan loved all of his sons, but his favourite could be none other than the salamander who literally went through hell and then sacrificed his own life to bring him back. That being Artellus Numion, the captain of the Pyre Guard. Artellus was the one who more or less coined the term Vulcan lives and never gave up hope on his father.
That term is garbage. I'd never like that term, respectfully. Hey, y'all want to know a secret, right? Yo, Goat, should I tell him? Yo, Vulcan, should I tell him? He don't even like that. He think that's lame. He don't even. Bro, I thought you wanted me to tell him. You wanted me to tell. My bad, big goat. My bad, big goat. Sorry, big goat. Sorry, goat. He didn't want me to tell you. I thought he said yes. Turns out he was like no. Like I got it mixed up. But respectfully, bro, he don't like that. Like he don't like the whole little Vulcan lives. That's not that's lame. He don't even like that, bro. He like, bro. You know what he really like? Listen to this. Listen to this. Yo, Big V. He just chuckled, y'all. Did y'all hear him just chuckle? Bro, I should put the mic over there so y'all can listen to him. Yo, Big Vulcan, bro. He just chuckled. When I called him Big V, he literally just chuckled. He likes that. He likes when I call him Big V. This little Vulcan lives stuff, all that little, oh my God, Vulcan lives. Man, throw it out the window, yo. Never look back. Yo, at that point, I don't even got a rear view mirror, bro. We not looking back at that. Have you ever heard like the little analogy that the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror? I know, because we're looking towards the future. We're not looking back at that little weak little Vulcan lives. Man, that stuff's for the birds, okay? Like, bro, crows pick up something like that, bro. Only crows would say something like that. Bro, us really big masculine men who got big muscles, bro, we said Big V. Like, that's what we say. Like, he's chuckling right now. I should put the mic over there. Like, y'all want to put the mic over there? Yeah, I'm about to put the mic over there, yo. Listen, Vulcan, say it. Did y'all hear him chuckle? Like, bro, like it's crazy. Like, bro, even his chuckle's funny. Like, his chuckle is contagious. Like, it's so crazy.
Despite Vulcan not being very alive during everything Artellus did for him, he would have appreciated it. Plus, Artellus was already Vulcan's Pyre Captain, Captain of the First, and Vulcan's Equerry. There was no one else that came close to being his favourite. Corvus isn't exactly an open book, nor is he particularly affectionate, but if he had a favourite or favourites, it would have to be the Nev brothers, Agapito and Bran. Both had fought alongside him during his earliest days.
Thing 1,
both
thing
were
2,
trusted
okay.
captains of his legion, and both served him well, saving his life on more than one occasion. He often took the advice of these captains and listened to them well. I can't think of any other Raven Guard he respected and liked as much as these two. And finally, who was Alpharius' favourite? Well, the cheap answer is Omegon, and that is also probably the best answer. We could also argue Ingo Peck, their first captain, but there was never really any affection shown there, more so just Ingo being super capable. Alpharius deliberately made everything in his legion detached and clinical, to help with the whole lack of individuality thing, so the honest answer is Omegon or himself were his favourite. What's the lesson of the day? Everyone's dad has favourite kids, even if they say they don't.
True.
If you enjoyed the video and you want to...
I wouldn't say favourites, but no, some parents do have favorites. Some parents do have favorites, but also some parents see unique qualities in different kids. In their different kids. They have multiple kids or whatever. But comment down below. What do you guys think about this one, man? I got a banger video dropping a little later. Also I have a Fortnite video dropping later as well. So hopefully you guys watch that one as well. Other than that, I'm gonna see y'all mixing them out. Peace out, everybody.